So we want to talk about sport and why is sport so effective? Now, sport has been my outlet since my life began. It is incredible. You need to have an outlet for many, many reasons. You can't just keep working every day because you'll find this builds up your stress. Your outlets are the things that release stress. So sports, for instance, I've played football, I've done boxing, I've done MMA. So I can rank them in the ones that I feel have been the most effective, and I can tell you why. So number one, the top one for my mental health has been MMA and boxing. They are ridiculously good for your mental health, especially as a male. The reason being is it releases so much stress. So there's a hormone called cortisol, which is responsible for your stress. And obviously, when you're stressed, so the more cortisol that you've released, you start feeling kind of bad about yourself. A high amount of cortisol can cause autoimmune diseases. It causes depression, anxiety. Cortisol in general is just an awful hormone to experience, and that is responsible for most poor mental health, panic attacks. Literally, so when you're in those moments of panic, it's because you've had a massive increase in adrenaline and cortisol. It's just a complete stressful situation. So boxing and MMA I've found decrease that dramatically. So they've decreased the cortisol ridiculously. As well as this, because you're put in a situation where you're literally fighting, you're in fight or flight. So you're releasing adrenaline. You're also kind of taking hits back. So you push yourself to absolute fatigue. And when you push yourself to absolute fatigue, the adrenaline is just non-existent. I found so many times that I'm leaving training from boxing or MMA, my mind's just at peace. I'm just looking around, just smiling because there's nothing else I want to do. I've got no cortisol left. I've got no adrenaline left to release. I'm so completely relaxed. But on top of this, it releases endorphins. And endorphins are the hormones that make you feel good. They're your wellness hormone. They are similar to dopamine. Actually, the description is very similar to ice baths. Like sports is in general just it's incredible. And it's one of those things that as like a masculine man, we want to do them. We want to do sports, like playing football. You've got the camaraderie with your teammates. You can have banter, smile, have all this fun and laughter, which in turn will also release dopamine. And going back to all these fucking thousands of years where we've been competing as males, we like to compete. We like to do things where we push each other and see how far we can go with our bodies. It's a very fulfilling experience. So if I was you, I would definitely recommend doing some kind of sport. But I like to do gym as well as kind of sport as well because I find the competitiveness of sport also adds a little extra to it. So I go to the gym and like 3 times a week, and I also do MMA at the moment. The past few months it was football, but I get quite bored quite quickly, so I rotate between the two. So my advice to you is get a gym routine going. How many times you want to go a week? You can go twice a day, every day, if you build yourself up to that point, and you will feel great because gym releases loads of endorphins as well and reduces a lot of stress too. But I'd recommend, for me anyway, my personal experience with a 9 to 5 is going to gym about 3 times a week, maintaining my physique, kind of doing push, pull, legs, shoulders, and then doing MMA twice a week. So I like to do MMA. I do Tuesdays, Thursdays, maybe Thursdays, Saturdays, and just kind of breaking it up so that I release a lot of stress, a lot of pent up aggression. Because in the workplace or at school, you've got all this testosterone rush, all this stress. You find yourself you just want to explode at any point. Going doing this kind of stuff gets rid of it. Instead of MMA, if you're more kind of a bit tamer, then football, rugby, tennis, just something. Get yourself out there, get yourself playing, and utilize your body, utilize the body God has given us. It's so important.